When they decided they were going to get married, he'd asked me to be his best man at his wedding, and that was an honor because Tommy had some really close friends. And when he had asked me to be his best man, it meant a lot to me.
When Sharon was going and getting her dress fitted again, Aunt Linda made her dress, which was very, very special for Sharon, very special. And Sharon had just come off of a third shift working, so she was extremely tired. So I offered to put the dress on for her, just because she was extremely tired. And no, that wasn't gonna happen. Aunt Linda, the fact that she made it very special for her, so it fit her to a T.
Well, what I remember the wedding day was, well, we all had big old four-wheel drive trucks. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, you know, these girls are gonna have dresses on, how are they gonna get in them? So in the morning, we got all over to Tommy's house there and we washed them all up and got them all looking good. And, you know, back then you had to put the little tissue flowers on them and we had to make the cans that drag behind. Quite an ordeal to get them women and the bridesmaids in the truck. And we parked them all right in front of the church. The big reception, and you know, how big Tommy is with parties. It's either big or go home.
I can clearly remember the positive energy, all the smiles, the laughter, and especially the dancing.
In the Salabin Hall, I always remember, Tommy always said, Randy Kindness always on the front leg of the bride's chair all the time. And he was there that day too. So all this friendship started out in 1966. Tommy moved in next door to us. We were pretty good friends. I remember one time we were coming home from high school and had pretty hot cars. And we got this race thing going on, nose to tail. All of a sudden this lady wants to make a left-hand turn. The next thing you know, we're scattered all over the place and Tommy's down in the ditch. Well, this lady pulls up with her four-wheel drive pickup and she goes, well, can I help you? And Tommy says, well, you might not be able to help us, but your truck can. And by the time we got home, his mother already knew what had happened. In high school, me and Tommy rode together and we got some fresh snow. So we usually parked in behind the old school in this little parking lot that held about 30 cars. Well, there was no parking spot, so Tommy got mad. So he guns the car. Next thing you know, we're doing donuts in the middle of the parking lot. I looks over and I said, Tommy, here comes Fernal. I hurry up and put the lock down. And I said, Tommy, don't you dare stop this car because he'll rip the door right off this thing. About an hour later, we're coming down the hallway. And Mr. Fernal's standing there and goes, all right, Mr. Reiner, Mr. Kindness, I know that was you guys out there this morning. And we said, no, we rode the bus this morning.
When they started dating way back in grade school, I can remember going watching Sharon's basketball games and Tommy be in the stands watching her and at the high school. And when Tommy left high school, that's when I became a letter carrier, Sharon's little service, because every day she would send me home with a little love note to Tommy. It would say like TK on it, and then I'd have to haul it home. And then up in the corner had a little, how's that CB? And boy, that just drove me nuts. What was CB? What did CB mean? And all that I found out, it's that cute butt he had. So when I get home, I'd take it up and put it on his bed so he'd have a little love note from Sharon to read when he got home before he went to bed. And I always wondered where he hid him. I could never find him. He had a good spot. Because I thought maybe, you know, once he opened them, I could go in and read them. But I could never find him. I know he probably still has them letters, knowing my brother.
The fact that we got to spend decades together, and we got to share a lot of our own firsts together, but then with all of our kiddos, even like the little cozy coops and birthday cakes and the confirmation and all the graduations and the weddings. But going back to early childhood, for many years, a group of us moms would take all of our kiddos over to the Frankenmuth Motor Lodge. There was one time we had 8 little kiddos, 5 needed high chairs, and 3 needed booster seats. And I know people were looking at us like we were a tad bit nutty. We did not think that. We were having the time of our life.
Putting that bacon on mama's stove, dog barking in the yard at a truck we don't know. All we had was us. Had a little bitty house and a lot of love. We had it all when we didn't have much.
Because we were so close growing up, he wanted me to go with him all the time. But he'd go over and pick up Sharon all the time. Sharon always says, I really didn't know who I was dating there for a while.
Trying to get mine, I can't see that old porch light that led me home at night. There was dirt on Daddy's clothes. We're putting that bacon on mama's stove, dog barking in the yard at a truck we don't know. All we had was us.
We used to go for breakfast at North Lake, that little grocery store, on Saturdays. Then we'd end up over at the property, and if it was cold, we'd be in the granary, and that was fun. Or we did side-by-side ride, and I'd talk them into stopping, and we would dance in the road.
Hear Grandma reading at a red letter book of John. I can still smell coffee in the kitchen, the old Don Williams on. And there was dirt on Daddy's clothes. From putting that bacon on mama's stove, dog barking in the yard at a truck we don't know. All we had was us. Had a little bitty house and a lot of love.
One of my fondest memories is when the guys, every year, they would go on a big snowmobile trip, and so that would leave us women and children at home. So Sharon and some of the other friends that we would have, we would take our kids and go over to the Bryan Inn Motor Lodge, and then we would stay with the kids and swim and just do kind of some fun things like that. The guys were having their guy time, but we also were having just a wonderful time with the kids and each other, and it was just a nice getaway.
Good old days when we had our 4-wheel drive pickups. We always had cowboy boots and cowboy hats on. We thought we were big bad men. We spent many a times in the old mud holes. I remember one in particular. When we went through this mud hole, you said, "Oh, it looks awful deep." I said, I was through it last week. It ain't that deep. Well, it rained about 3 inches that week. So we got in there, we got stuck. But he hit it so hard, the tailgate fell down, and I heard something. I go, Tommy, I hear something. Here's this turtle swimming in the back of the pickup box. But that was an interesting night because there ended up being 10 trucks there and only 2 ran by the end of the night.
Memories of like at harvest, getting pizza and having pizza out in the field while they're out doing. And once in a while I'd be the gopher, take them from one field to the other. I do remember one time though I was following your mother with 2 big wagons full, and we're going down Barnes Road, and she's not going very slow, and I'm thinking, oh my God, she's going to put it in the ditch.
He was a good leader to me. He always gave me good advice when I needed someone to go talk to. Sharon was a good sister-in-law. I could always count on Sharon to help me out. Big sister I never had. And same with Tommy. He was always by my side.
40 years of marriage bliss. When I first met Tom on the ball fields of St. Paul, I knew he was a good guy. We became friends, and I considered Tom one of my best friends. The beer tent setup and tear down times were the best. Whether it be fish fries or cooking a pig for some college boys in 2 foot of snow up north, you can bet Tom would give it 100%, make sure those boys were satisfied.
I remember one time when Tommy told me, "Thank you, Angie, for marrying this guy." And just want to say you're welcome. No problem.
The thing I admire about their marriage is the way they communicate, the way they stay together, the things they do together are always together with each other and through tough times and good times. Everybody had tents, and we were at the Wilson State Park, and we got a treacherous rainstorm and everything got wet, and that was the last year I tented. Kind of upgraded and pretty soon we had a pretty good crowd. There was quite a family group there that went camping. It was probably one of the best times in my life going through. And this year we got plans again. Sharon always puts us together, so we're always in a group. The different themes, the weddings and NASCAR.
I remember one trip in particular, we went to Silver Lake Sand Dunes. Tommy's never in Kipper, they'd never been there, so I told him, "Hey, you need to get a flag for your truck." "Oh, no, I'll be okay." Well, so we went out there in the sand hills, and
Glenn got stuck. We had to go pull him out. And
we went to the go-kart track, and I remember Tommy having so much fun, he had tears running down his eyes when we were out there racing each other.
A few days before he turned 80, he was sitting out back in a rocker. He said, "What you been up to lately?" I told him chasing a dollar, and in between sips of coffee, he poured this wisdom out. Said, "If you want my 2 cents on making a dollar count, buy dirt, find the one you can't live without. Get a ring, let your knee hit the ground. Do what you love, but call it work. And throw a little money in the plate at church. Send your prayers up and your roots down deep. Add a few limbs to your family tree. And watch their pencil marks in the grass in the yard all grow up. Cause the truth about it is, it all goes by real quick. You can't buy happiness, but you can buy dirt." Before you get caught on that ladder, let me tell you what it's all about. Find you a few things that matter, that you can put a fence around. And then he laid it out. Buy dirt, find the one you can't live without. Get a ring, let your knee hit the ground. Do what you love, but call it work. And throw a little money in the plate at church. Send your prayers up and your roots down deep. And add a few limbs to your family tree. And watch their pencil marks in the grass in the yard all grow up. Cause the truth about it is, it all goes by real quick. You can't buy happiness, but you can buy dirt. You can buy dirt. And thank the good Lord for it, cause he ain't making any more of it. So buy dirt, find the one you can't live without. Get a ring, let your knee hit the ground. Do what you love, but call it work. And throw a little money in the plate at church. And send your prayers up and your roots down deep. Add a few limbs to your family tree. Watch their pencil marks in the grass in the yard all grow up. Cause the truth about it is, it all goes by real quick. You can't buy happiness, but you can buy dirt.
We met Tom and Sharon in 1988. Michelle drugged me kicking and screaming to Lamaze classes. We both kind of felt out of place with everyone that was in the room except for this one couple who seemed to be normal, I guess.
The same spot that we were at.
Same spot where we were at in life. I knew we were gonna get to be good friends right out of the gate when it was the night before opening of firearm deer season, and a lady teaching the class said, I think we probably need to break early because there's probably some of you that are want to go deer hunting, and both Tom and I just about jumped up and did backflips like, yes, let's get out of here. And I knew right then and there that we were probably going to get along with these two.
And shortly after we invited them up to Birch Run for dinner one night, Tom told us later that he put his cooler out on the porch that was filled with beer because he didn't know whether we drank or not, and he was uncomfortable bringing it in the house.
We sat down, I offered Tommy a beer and opened up the refrigerator, and I just happened to fill the refrigerator with beer that day, the day before they got there, and Tom said to Sharon, I think we're gonna like this guy.
For that dinner, I had made Cornish hens, and again, Tom told Sharon later that he had never had those, and so they were both confused whether they eat them with their hands, with a fork. And later we had a really good laugh because we both couples were kind of awkward.
They'd come here lots and stop in, and we'd have a little toddy or two. Might have had a couple drinks, and so I was roller skating around in here, and they all thought I was crazy.
When Sharon and Tommy met, there was no doubt that they were smitten for each other. It was like magnet and steel, and you were not going to separate them.
Their 40th anniversary coming up is a special occasion for them. I wish them well on this day and many, many more years to come. And they got a lot to look forward to in their lives with their farming and their grandkids growing up. You guys are very special people to me. I love you guys both.
And I wish them many, many more years of happiness and joy and dancing.
Just enjoy life and enjoy all your grandkids because they grow up so fast.
Sari and I would just like to, congratulate you on 40 years. Because I know how you are, Tommy, you don't get rid of nothing. So we know you're not going to get rid of Sharon. So that's going to work out for you.
Wish them all the well for this 40th anniversary. Love you guys.
Love you guys very much. You've become more than just friends over the years.
Absolutely.
You guys are absolute family to us, and we love you both very, very much. Happy 40th anniversary.
Tom and Sharon have been the role models for what 40 years of marriage is all about. Congratulate you two on 40 years and many, many more. We love you guys, and raise a beer and cheers.
Cheers.
Love you guys.
David Lee, Swindell, shot caller, baby. Right now I really need a beer with my friends. Pop a top or two and talk about a way back when. It's been too long, no matter how long it's been. Right now I really need a beer with my friends. Don't get me wrong, I try to keep my heart right. I talk to Jesus just about every night. I call my mama and my daddy at least once a week to remember my roots and keep them planted deep. Sometimes I need to slip away and get a different view. There's really something to that honky-tonk attitude. It pulls me out of that everyday sinking sand. But I feel better with a cold one in my hand. Right now I really need a beer with my friends. After